All right. So, what is the most important thing, which is like the fundamental or the foundation of the whole IELTS test, which is like you have to have it before you start thinking in terms of clearing the IELTS test? What is one thing which you would like to learn and which is like something which is most important in order to clear the IELTS test? I'm just sending an invite. Yeah,
Learning the new phrases.
learning the new phrases. Okay, let me just write this down. This is going to be interesting. So let me just open a notepad and write it. Learning new phrases. Okay, what else?
So in simple word, we can say like grammar, vocabulary, and the fluency. The three word I'll say.
The grammar, vocabulary,
And the
fluency.
fluency for
All right.
speaking purpose.
Okay. Okay. So let's make it like this. Let's talk about one thing at a time. All right. So let's start with listening. So what do you think are the most important things or something which is the foundation of listening? I'll enlarge it. Are you all able to see my screen right now? I don't think so.
Yes, sir.
We are
Can't
able
share.
to see you, not the screen.
All right. So now the screen is also visible. Yeah. So in order to get 8 bands or 9 bands in listening, what is required? So yeah, let's quickly point out 5 things. We will take 5 things for each of the sections. What is required to score 8 bands in listening?
Cons-
If I have to tell that, I will say the first thing is you should have
Concentration.
practiced 5 tests with 3 tabs technique.
Ah,
3 tabs technique. I want to talk about some jugaads. Okay, I don't want anything which is very literary and very what do you call theoretical. I want something which is you do this and you get this, something like that. You take this medicine and your corona goes away. You take this vaccine and you are free from corona. You would never get it. Something like this. Something which is you take this action, you achieve this, like that. So 5 tests with 3 tabs technique is one thing which I would like you to do if you want to master listening. 5 tests. Take any 5 tests, any book. All right, and use three. Are you all clear of 3 tabs technique? What it is?
Yes, sir.
If you are not, I'll send you that listening test and you would know what is 3 tabs technique. Basically, you are supposed to refer to the transcript as well as answer to check your answer. So I'll send this in case you don't know about it. So we have to do 5 tests with 3 tabs technique to get listening done. I think I don't need to do anything else. One more thing I would say is just identify your mistakes and do those questions again and again. Only those specific questions. Like, for example, in case you find map is something which is difficult, identify 10 questions from of the map type and just do them. So, do multiple times the questions, the challenging questions. Okay, so I don't want anything else. That's it. Listening is done and dusted. If you do this, I know for sure you will score 8 bands in listening. No two ways about it. Okay, so listening done. Let us talk about reading. What should you do to get 8 bands in list reading? if I have to say something, I'll say the first thing is master, what do you call, combing. If there is one technique which I would like you to master, it would be combing. And also master, what do you call, process of elimination, POE. I'll write this completely because this is super important. Process of elimination. And yeah, again, the same thing. 5T, 3T. 5 tests 3 times. That's it, nothing else. I don't want, like, 3,000 things are there in reading, but then this is what it is. See, I'm considering all of you as if you are starting your journey for the first time today. And if you are starting from zero, then this is the plan I want you all to follow. Right? See, everything is tagged, right? If I want to become a great leader, then I have to first of all develop 3 fundamental qualities which are there in every leader. Is that right? I should have patience. I should have understanding of the people, how they behave, and I should have mastery over my own skill, whatever leadership skill I want to get into. So if I want to be a business leader, I should know that particular business in and out, right? So, and this thing will get stacked, right? In IELTS, if I want to translate this into IELTS, if I want to talk in terms of IELTS, and you want to score 8 bands, right? Let us first of all build a stack of 6 bands. Does that make sense? Because if you are at 6 bands, then only you can move to 7, then only you can move to 8. Let's not talk about scoring 8 bands or 9 bands today. Let us talk about building the strength of scoring 6 in any case. That minimum thing. I know that's not our target, right? But we have to cross that journey. Do you understand this? You start from point X and you want to move to point Y. So point Y is your destination. Great. But then what is the first milestone? What is the second milestone? And what is the last milestone? So I'm not saying that 6 bands is your last milestone. But then if you do not score 6 bands, you will not score 7 bands. Is that right? 6 comes first, 7 comes next, 8 comes next, and then comes 9. Does this make sense?
Yes, sir.
So this is what I'm targeting. I want that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we should look at incremental goals and we should identify the milestones. And the first milestone is execution. It's not about marks, it's about execution. You should have done something, made your hands dirty with doing something before you even think in terms of scoring something. Does that make sense? It's not about marks, it's about just doing it. You have to do it. And once you do that, you automatically learn a lot of skills related to that particular aspect, whether it is listening, reading, or whatever. Does it make sense? Because then only we can think, like, for example, I want to make 6 packs. Okay, great. You want to build 6 packs. Go to the gym for at least 2 months first. Don't talk about 6 months right now. You should be ready for it first, isn't it? So let's not talk about anything like 8 bands or whatever. This is what it is. Okay. Now, what about writing? Again, the same thing I would say. First point would be 5 tests 3 times. Take any 5 tests, or I've provided you those standard answers. Become a master of 5 writings, 5 letters, 5 essays. Become a master of them. Even if it means mugging it up, that's fine. If it means writing the same essay multiple times, absolutely fine. But 5 tests 3 times. So this will bring you to the level of somewhere around 7 bends for sure in the shortest period of time. You can do this in next 3 days. Some of you have your exams in on 9th, right? Today
Yes,
is
sir. My
4th.
exam is on 9th.
So next 3 days, follow
Yeah.
this. Don't do new tests. Don't try to burden yourself with those things. Build your skills in case you have not started doing full tests. So do this first. Do 5 tests 3 times. 5 essays, 5 letters 3 times. Take any 5 reading, writing, listening tests 3 times. Build them like that. Right? Same would be the thing with regard to speaking. I would not really. I'm thinking, there are 10,000 things which we can talk about, but I don't really want to go into that because today is our first class. Do this, do that. No, nothing. Let's do something which can be accomplished in a week's time, or 4 days time, or 5 days time. That's it, right? Again, 5 tests. Now, what do I mean by this? This is not clear to me. What do I mean by this when I say 5 tests 3 times for speaking? I understand for writing. I can see I'm writing. I've got 5 essays. I've got 5 letters and mastering them. I understand this very clear. What about speaking? When I say 5 tests 3 times, what does it mean? Are you going to do the test with me? Are you going to, so what? So basically, what I mean by speaking is take any 5 2 minute speeches, any 5 2 minutes instances, and make short notes on each of them. I'll give you an example. So Sheenam was the girl who scored 8.5 in her speaking in her first attempt. For 20 different topics, she had some points. If they ask me about a book, this is the book I'm going to speak. These are the 2 things I'm going to talk about it. If they ask about an ideal teacher, this is what it is. This is what it is. If I provide you with this, would you be able to prepare on those, yeah, those who are having their exam a little later, at least 20 topics? See, it is like this.
Yes, sir.
If you know about 20 topics,
The
you can.
topics we are not able to guess. Huh?
I'll give you the topics. I'll give you the answers also on those topics.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I give you that, does this make sense? You would just be able to read them and replace them with your own answers. If I say my favorite book is, let's say, whatever, See You at the Top by Zig Ziglar, you can replace it with your book that you like. Yeah, and you can just speak about it. So I'll give you this list of topics which you are supposed to do. So this is from my side, right? I'll be giving you this list of topics and answers. Yeah. Does this look like a plan? Reading, writing, listening, speaking. Let's put this as a 7 days plan. Hmm? And what is basically, I did not start with this agenda. This is not what I wanted to do. I ask you one question. What is most important thing to clear IELTS? What is most important thing to clear IELTS? What is the most important skill? What is one thing which can make a huge difference in your performance in all the sections? Even today, if you go there and you perform, it will make a huge difference in your performance. It is the right mindset. This is most important thing. Half the people fail in IELTS not because they lack in any skill, but they lack in the right mindset. They approach the whole test in a very, very incorrect manner, if that is the word, or um, skewed manner. They look at the whole test in a very skewed way. Their vision is very skewed. Like, for example, in writing, am I supposed to use difficult words? Should I impress the examiner with my writing? In speaking, am I supposed to speak like a British guy, or am I supposed to use some very difficult words and expressions? Should my knowledge be of the level of an Obama, or should I be speaking like a Shashi Tharoor? I never participated in any. So, people have a very, very incorrect mindset about IELTS. Let me tell you what is the right mindset. The right mindset is this: IELTS is a standardized test, and a standardized test has fixed criteria of execution. The examiners come with a fixed mindset, and they have some fixed set of skills that they want to check you on. If something is fixed, it can be fixed, isn't it? If something is already fixed, it can be fixed because this is the criteria. Like, for example, in writing, you should be absolutely clear what is this guy looking for. He's looking for, I should have completed the task, I should have answered all the questions, I should have given some examples of long sentences, some examples only of long sentences and short sentences, some of them. I should have taken care of the basic stuff related to hygiene factors of comma, full stop, capital letters. If I'm writing with my hand, it should be properly capitalized, spellings, right? I should have taken care of using some good words here and there, not too many. And most importantly, I should take care of time management. I should finish the whole stuff in 50 minutes and just finish it. I should write not more than 260 to 70 words in essay and 160 170 words in letter. Not You should not write too much, isn't it? So it's about going very strategic. Do you see this? If we get very emotional about it, then we will try to go for an overkill. I want to impress, with my writing. With folded hands, if we go with the intention of just finishing the task and touching the benchmark, see, in a competition, like for example, if you go for a race, how many winners can be there in a race? Say Bolt is there and you are running with Bolt. So how many winners would be there? You are running a race where Bolt is also running. You know about Usain Bolt? Have you heard of him? He's now retired. But you are running with Usain Bolt. Who will win? Are you thinking of beating Usain Bolt? So if you are running against Usain Bolt will win, right? Hands down. He would be the winner. If you are going for swimming and Phelps is there, who has won whatever 15 gold medals in Olympics, he will win. Is that right? Yes or no? Tell me, please. If you are competing with Michael Phelps in swimming, who would win? You would win or he will win? Somebody has written something. Yes, very good. So Bolt will win or he. If all of you give a standardized performance of certain level in IELTS, will all of you get the same bends? Tell me yes or no. If all
No.
of you touch the benchmark, will you all get 8 bends? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It is not a competition. It is standardized performance test. It is a test of meeting certain standards, isn't it? Like for example, there are all these bottles of Chavanprash or all these paste tubes. They are all standardized. All of them pass that standard test and they are considered to be good to be sent to the market. There is no single close-up cut toothpaste tube which is better than the next other one, isn't it? They are not supposed to compete. They are supposed to just touch the benchmark. This is the mindset I want you to go there with. Do you understand this? Now, a close-up tube which is bigger in size, has got more paste in it. Is it better than the one which is smaller or which is the standardized one? Actually, it will fail.
No. Only size is difference.
Actually, it will fail. If there is a quality check happening, they will pick up this particular tube and say, boss, ye kya hai? This is an exception. You throw it off, isn't it? If your English, if you try to show your English, which is above or which is beyond the average, which is not required, you will get more marks. A standard means you should not exceed the standard too much also. It is as much important to touch the standard as I mean, you should be really very cautious of not exceeding the standards also too much. Do you see this? In a standardized test, this will happen. But this is where we fail. We try to exceed the standards, or we don't even know what is the standard. So most important thing in the IELTS test is the right mindset. And the right mindset is to go there with an examiner's mindset. What exactly is this guy looking for? Isn't it? If you know that, it becomes so easy. You become super confident about your scores. And you perform in less time. There's a girl, her name is Gurpreet. She finished her test in 50 minutes writing. And she was looking at everybody. All people were writing. She came to me and said, "Sir, इस साल फिर fail होने वाली हूँ." मैं, "क्यों?" "It was very difficult in writing. I finished in 50 minutes. So I'm sure I have not written something which is of good standard." She scored 7.5 in writing. You don't have to spend 60 minutes to score the standard, to exceed the bands. You can score whatever you want in less time. All that is required is to touch the benchmark. Isn't it? Are you all very clear about this? This is something super important. Because from here, you will start doing reverse engineering. Because if you know that this is the destination, you will then plan your journey like that, isn't it? So if are we clear about this? Please write yes. You're clear that this is what is the meaning of a standardized test, right? And half the people, I mean, we become very ignorant about this. Now let us go in the reverse direction. If this is the test and if it is a standardized test, then how to achieve this goal? Which means you should have a system developed inside you which always delivers a performance which is of that particular band level, neither more nor less. It's like a car which goes, there is a standard fixed about fuel consumption. This will give you 14 kilometers per liter. This is this car. This will give you 20 kilometers per liter. This car. It does not matter which day. It does not matter which road. To a certain extent, these parameters would matter, but then the car is of the efficiency that it will always touch this benchmark, right? If you develop this kind of system, then irrespective of IDP, British Council, Punjab, Delhi, Patinda, wherever we give the test, the size of the Colgate tube is the same everywhere. It's going from the same machine. So this is what is the mindset I want you to go with. Irrespective of the day, irrespective of the question, if you meet those standards, you will get the required bands. Right? How to achieve it now? how to develop a system that you always score that much marks, that you stack up your performance and you do enough practice that whenever you do, whatever day you do, whatever topic on which you write, you meet those standards. I've already told you. Is it not the right roadmap to achieve it, rather than making you struggle with giving you a new topic, write an essay on it, write a letter on it, do this reading and show like a god, you know, are you able to do every new test like a god? Okay, you will get a new topic and you will get a new test in reading, that's for sure. You are going to get, you're not going to get something which you have done here, is that right? You know, you're not going to get any test which we prepare here in the class, right? The question that you get in reading and writing would be different for sure. In listening also it would be different, in speaking also it's going to be different, correct? Does that mean that in preparation also every day you should do a different test? Will it help you to develop the right approach towards solving a new test if you take a new test every time here in the learning environment, right? Yes or no? I want to hear from you. You should be convinced about it. The methods you use, if you have faith in them, they will deliver. If you don't have faith in them, they will not deliver, isn't it? सारे लोग मंदिर में ऐसे जोड़ के हाथ भगवान के पास जाते हैं और कुछ ही लोगों को भगवान आशीर्वाद दे देते हैं, जा पुत्र. Why does it happen? Right? So you should be absolutely sold to the techniques that you use, isn't it? You should have bought into them and you should know that, yeah, it will work. Every new test will give same approach. I'm sorry, I do not get this. Yeah, exactly. If I understand you correctly, what you're saying is, if you develop the right strategy, then irrespective of the nature of the test, your strategy will make you successful. Is that what you're trying to say? I mean, the purpose is not to do many tests, but the purpose is to learn the right strategy. If you know how to drive, and if you have done reasonable practice on some roads, irrespective of the road, you will be able to go to Shimla with your family, or for that matter, to Ranthambore or to any kind of terrain. It won't matter, isn't it? Even the car won't matter to a certain extent if you are a good driver. Do you agree? How will you become a good driver to drive any kind of car? By changing the car every day while learning, or by doing one car? By mastering one car completely. Write down one car or many cars here. One car or many cars? Mastering one car. Yeah.
One car.
Yeah. So this is so very important. Master one test, then next test, then next test, then next test. I'm telling you 5 tests. You tell me, if you are a master of 5 tests, can anybody stop you? If you are a master of 5 tests, if you know everything about 5 tests, irrespective of the day or the time, if I make you do out of those 5 tests, you perform at the level of 8 or above in those 5 tests, even if you remember the answers, what are your chances of getting very high marks in the real test also? Is it above 80% at least? Write down above 80% if you think that if you are master of 5 tests, in your actual test also you will score 8 bands or above, the chances are 80%. I'm still giving 20% to God, but 80%. Do you think 80% chances are there? If you master 5 tests. See, I'm not saying that this is a proven technique and 2000 people have done it. You say no to it also, in case you think there is a doubt. 80% chance to hai, yes or no? If you do 5 tests thoroughly. Do you think so? Now, do you have a plan? Next 15 days, you can do 5 tests thoroughly. Don't do anything else. Take one test, next test, again, next test, again. 15 days. People who have got 9, it's a little early now, but yes, even you have already done a lot of things, right? But then from now onwards, for next 3 days, like take any 2 to 3 more tests. Don't take many tests, and keep on revising them again and again and again and again, so that you understand the examiner's mindset for those who are taking the test online. But this is very, very important, the foundation of everything that we are going to learn. You know, if we are very sure about the direction, the kind of energy we put in our efforts and the kind of results we get are very different, isn't it? मैं भगवान की पूजा कर रहा हूँ, पता ही नहीं वो मिलेंगे भी कि नहीं, तो मेरा दिमाग इधर उधर भटक जाता है. बट अगर मुझे मालूम है कि दिस इज द पाथ, इट विल टेक मी टू माय डेस्टिनेशन, I will be doing it with a lot of enthusiasm. I'll be putting more effort and energy there, isn't it? So this is what I want you to follow. All right. All the answers, all the questions, everything which is there is available. You can ask me, or you can check. Like for example, if I talk about reading, there is one very good site called as IELTS-deal.com. Right. For reading, all the questions, all the explanations are there. For listening, there are transcripts. Transcripts tell everything. If you miss something, transcripts tell everything. Which question, what were they saying? You read the transcript, you'll get the answer. For writing, I'll be giving you all the standard answers. 5 essays, 5 letters. Take them from me, just rewrite them. For speaking, I'll be giving you the content. So this is what I want you to follow. All right. Now tell me what questions you have, if you've done something, if there is any kind of questions you have. I've sent you one document today. It is called as IELTS Mythbuster. Okay, please go through this before you sleep today. It will not take more than an hour's time. But those who are taking their test like on 9th, I want you to go through this today itself. If you have already gone through it, you can start with something else. But go through this IELTS Mythbuster thoroughly. It will not take more than an hour or an hour and a half. It talks about all the myths about reading, listening, writing, speaking, what people think and what it actually is. Half the journey would be covered if you go through this Mythbuster and you understand it thoroughly. And make notes when you are going through it. Stop it. Make some short notes about it. Don't write long notes because it's already there. I've sent you a Word file. In Word file, the explanations are there. Plus, the audio is also there. So everything is there. But I still want you to carry a pen with you so that you are focused. Whatever 1, 2 words you want to write about everything. When you go with this mindset, your success becomes so much probable, and so much certain, I would say, not probable, because you approach it with the right mindset. That is what it is. Okay, any questions, anything that you have done today? One more thing which I want to discuss about is writing and speaking. This I wanted to cover writing and speaking because those who are going to do their test on 9th, there's hardly any time. So for those who are starting their journey today, don't need to go through writing and speaking. But then if you want to, you can always go through that also. For writing and speaking, I'm going to give you that document and the tutorial of writing and speaking, which I'm going to send it after the class. And I want you to go through that particular portion as well. And yeah, that is what it is. Any questions, anything which is there in your mind which you want me to cover right now? I'm there and I can see. This is going to be the format of our class. I'll be taking one particular section and the questions related to whatever you have done the previous day, and I'll be giving you one task. So the task for the beginners, you don't have to do any test right now. All of you who are beginning their journey today, I simply want you to go through the Mythbuster. All right, because once your mindset is like, when once your direction is set, then we can talk about speed. Is the voice clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so once the direction is correct, then speed will make sense. So I want you to set your direction today by going through the Mythbuster. You would set the right direction, where you should, the way you should move, right direction for your destination. It will talk about what are the myths in listening, reading, writing, speaking, and some of the things which we have discussed here in the class. Right. Then when you start your journey on all these sections, the results are very, very different from what you get otherwise. All right. So for new people, this is the task. For the ones who are having their exam on 9th, now you please start doing full tests. And today we are on 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. We still have 3 days. You can do one full test from either book 8, book 9, whichever book you have, or some other book. You just do full tests and tell me which test you have done. Tomorrow I'm going to answer all those questions where you have gone wrong on that. Right? Writing and speaking, don't do any new test. Please rewrite stuff, because now it is the time to absorb most of the things. And once you are confident, I'll now leave it to you. I'll not force you to do it, but if you are confident, then take a new topic, write on it. But it should not be like today itself you have started and you start writing, right? uh, you can unmute and speak actually. Yeah, this is the document which I'm talking about as far as the beginners are concerned. For those who have got their test on 9th, for them I have shared other documents which are like 11 essays and letters, so you can use them, plus book
Okay,
8
yeah.
and other books that you can.
Alright, so I was talking about the latest Word document which you have sent. So,
Yeah, the latest Word document which I have shared is the one which I am talking about, which is the Mythbuster.
okay, so this is the one, the meat cluster. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so anything else, any other questions that you have for me right now? For those who are starting their journey, I don't think you would have much questions today. Uh, so your task is very clear today. For those who are starting, I simply want you to go through the Mythbusters, and they are a collection of videos, and the same thing is available in the text form also. See, I believe there are different types of learners. And I mean, what I believe, the fact is, like, there are different types of learners. Some are very visual, so when they read it, they understand it. Some are auditory, they have to listen to something because the tonality of voice makes them understand something. And some are kinesthetic, right? They do it until unless they do something, they don't understand it. So I want you to use all the three methods of learning, where you would be reading something, so the text is there. The same thing would you would listen to, so you would understand, oh, this is what he was saying there in the text, right? First read it, then hear it, and then there would be some exercises. So tomorrow when we do some tests, you would be able to apply those things in the real test, right? So this is what we are going to follow. Yes, now I'm open to questions. In case you have any questions, please ask me. Otherwise, you can ask questions to me on WhatsApp also. I'll answer them. Just ask all the questions in the group, in case there is something which is common for all. and I'll answer it. Especially those who are doing it on 9th. What is your plan today?
Sir, I'm planning to go for writing because till now we haven't done anything. Only
Hmm.
reading and listening part we are doing, no? One way.
Yeah,
So these things, two things, the speaking and writing, zero completely. Not even a single test I have taken. So
yeah,
give some tips, I can take the thing.
sure. So for writing, what I would suggest is
So
like,
I've started with reading since yesterday. I've oriented about reading.
Mhm,
So I have done few passages of reading.
mhm. And how was that?
Yeah, it was good. The Your technique was good, but
Mhm,
then because of the rigorous practice that I've done with the reading,
mhm,
in the starting it was a bit difficult to follow the technique. But
mhm.
after like 4 5 paragraphs, I got a hold of it.
Good, 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 good.
Yeah.
Now comes the part of writing. And okay, let me give you a brief of writing in next 15 minutes so that you know what it is and it will be useful for all the new people also, right? Um,
Okay.
all this I'm going to send you in the tutorials also, you can hear it, okay? But I just want to orient it very, very quickly so that you know what it is, all right? See, writing is like cooking, right? We understand this. If curry is ready, then you can cook anything, right? This is the mindset I want you to have. So whenever you write an essay during practice, think about the template, not the essay. Think about the structure, because this essay will pave the way to write another essay of the same nature. All right. So here there is a little bit of match fixing. The types of essays are fixed, right? So yeah, when you practice, this is the thing that you should follow. Now there are some cardinal rules, some basic rules that you should follow while writing an essay. How to write an introduction, how to write about the body paragraph, how to write the conclusion. This is something which is fixed. Every essay will have this. How to write introduction? We have discussed in some other sessions, like in 3 days class earlier. Hook, theme, anchor. What is a hook? The first sentence. It should be a little inviting, attractive. It should be like something which is some people call it as
Some good
paraphrase.
phrasal verbs.
Hmm. Like for example, some people say that arranged marriage is more successful. Others say that love marriage is more successful. Discuss both views and give your opinion. I want a hook for this. As for the first sentence, how would you introduce this subject if you have to write an essay on this? Sir, irrespective of marriage, whether it is love marriage or arranged marriage, the wife speaks and the husband listens. No, no, no. So, what should be the good?
Something like marriages are made in heaven.
This can be actually very, very good. Marriages are made in heaven. So this is one good quote you can start. This works like a good hook. Although it does not really point towards anything, but then it attracts a person's attention.
Or things in heaven.
Yeah, and how will you take it further after this? This cliche points towards the fact that there is no one size fits all solution for a happy marriage? Right. So, something which just this came to my mind, I wrote it. But yes, this could act as a good hook, which makes the person a little curious about what you want to say later. Right. I'll also write a theme. Now, what is the theme? What do you mean by theme? A theme is something which is your view. All right. Hook is the first sentence. Theme is what do you want to support? What is your view? Right. Now, this can be one-sided. This can be two-sided. You can support both the views or you can support one. It's all your choice. I'm going to say that while there is no guarantee, or while there is no I'll say while there are benefits and drawbacks in both forms, I tend to believe that love marriage is a better choice. Is a better option, let's say. Now, what is this? This is a theme. What do you mean by theme? Theme is what do I think. So, there's some words like I think or in my opinion will come into theme. Right? This might not be the best theme, but I just want to give an example of what theme is. You got the point, right? And the third statement has to be an anchor. Now, what is an anchor? An anchor is a sentence which connects to the rest of the essay. So this essay will discuss how a love marriage scores higher than a love marriage, arranged marriage, than an arranged marriage. Right? This is one hook anchor that you can use. There is one standard anchor also. A deep dive into the subject will help us to understand will help us to compare the two forms of marriage. This is a little neutral, right? But it is still anchoring me to the rest of the body paragraph, to rest of the body, right? But this is a जुगाड़ू one. मुझे याद है मैंने उसको use कर लिया. So somebody was asking me today that she read or she listened to some guru of IELTS saying that you should not use templates because IELTS examiner will deduct marks on that. My take is use them with temperance. I mean, sparingly you can use them, there is no problem. Because at the end of the day, there is nothing which is original, isn't it? If you use some prepared stuff, it is not a strict no-no. Okay, fine. So do you understand how to write an intro now? Do you understand this? What is a hook? A hook is an attractive first line. What is a theme? A theme is your mind. What is an anchor? A line which connects the introduction with the rest of the essay. So hook, theme, and anchor. Right? So your introduction would have or would always have three sentences: a hook, a theme, and an anchor. how to develop it, how to practice it. I have given you some 11 essays. All of them are written using the same structure. Simply rewrite them. Does it make sense? So you know the path, you have got a Google map, you have got the road. All that you have to do is drive your car. Yeah. Okay. What about the body sentence? What body paragraphs? Follow the structure of 5 C's. We have discussed this earlier also. 5 C's stands for claim, context, concrete evidence, commentary, and conclusion. So every body paragraph will start with a claim. What is a claim? A claim is a neutral sentence which talks about what you are going to speak about, what kind of evidences you are going to give. For example, my claim can be, in a love marriage, couple know each other for a long time, so they uh, uh, are able to adjust better. So what is my claim? They know each other, and that is why they will be able to adjust better. Right? I can give a context now. In a marriage, it is very important to understand each other's mindset and behavior patterns. So I'm talking about mindset and behavior patterns. Now I can give an example, a concrete example. One of my uncles, who was in a courtship for, yeah, one of my brothers, whatever, whose courtship lasted for almost 3 years, uh, enjoyed his marital life because they knew, you can give some example and quote it. So concrete example, and then commentary and conclusion. In commentary, you can quote certain situations whenever there are hard times. They can support each other. They already know how the other person would react, and so on and so forth. So claim, context, concrete evidence, commentary, conclusion is the path that you can follow. Okay, you have a lot of examples of this sort. All you have to do is simply rewrite those essays. Does it make sense? Does it sound like a doable task? If you have a road map, like a Google map, and if you have a road, can you drive the car? And if there is somebody sitting beside your car also and telling you this is how you are supposed to drive it, would you be able to drive the car and take it to from wherever to wherever? You have got a road map, you have got the road, you have got somebody sitting with you. Can you drive it? After some days, the person sitting beside you, this instructor will go away, and the map will also go away. Only you and the road would be there. Would you still be able to drive the car then? अरे कुछ तो बोलो यार, yes no कुछ तो बोल दो, ऐसे ना करो आप लोग. Does it sound like a plan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is what I want you to all to do. As of now, you can simply rewrite all those essays using this plan. So this is about the body. Now, what about conclusion? Again, here you can use some fixed structure. Okay, I can see some. Can you give me some suggestions about conclusion? How to write a conclusion? What have you studied? How to write a conclusion? Should you give an example in the conclusion? Should a conclusion be very long? How should it be? It should be very direct and very simple. It should be very, very to the point. Right? You can always make a map and then write the body, and the same thing can come in conclusion. For example, for this essay, what I would talk about these things. Number one, emotional compatibility, and social reasons. Let me take these two. On this agenda, on these basis, I can say that love marriage is better because There is emotional compatibility between the husband and wife, and social reasons. Why? Because both of them know each other, so the family also knows each other because of their courtship. I can make a story, right? I cannot be factually correct all the time, but I can cook up, you know, when the boys and girls know each other and their parents also get to know each other for very long, the two families also gel together. So these are the two things I have thought of, right? And I'll write two paragraphs on emotional compatibility and social reasons to justify that love marriage is better. All right. Now, how do I write a so this is how you should think about when you are writing about the body paragraphs. Don't think about 300 reasons. 2 reasons or 3 reasons are enough, because on every reason you are going to write 5 sentences: claim, context, concrete evidence, commentary, conclusion. Each of these sentences would be around 10 words, which means 50 plus 50 is 100, right? And another conclusion, body, some examples you give, another 150 will come, and your 250 words are done. You have to think like a bania. Is there anybody who is bania here? Don't get me wrong, okay? पिटाई कर सकते हैं आप लोग. So point is, you should be thinking in terms of being very, very frugal with your words. Do not write too much. The more you write, the more prone you get to commit errors, isn't it? So what I'm trying to say is this. So while writing a conclusion, you should know exactly what was there in the body and the introduction, and then it becomes so easy to write a conclusion. Don't write any fancy thing in conclusion. To conclude, given that in a love marriage, there is a stronger emotional and social bond between the bride's and the groom's family. Social bond between the bride and the groom. मैं directly ये बोल देता हूँ, family को छोड़ दो. Bride and between the bride and the groom, I tend to support a love marriage. Simply love marriage, not a love marriage. Love marriage over arranged marriage. How is this conclusion? You give marks to it. No, you can always act like an examiner and say good, bad, ugly. Write something, say something, react. Let's see. How do you like it? I mean, from what? So basically, the conclusion is what concludes everything. In this example, do we need to take one? As I said, you have got every choice. You know, it's your choice. This is a very good question. So you have this freedom of taking whatever side you want to take. You can take any side. All of them would be right. How is this conclusion? How is this conclusion? Which conclusion?
I've written it, sir, in the chat box.
Okay. Where is that? Let me see. To conclude, given that marriage, can you read it? It's a little difficult. Marriage is about finding the right.
Yeah, I'll read it. To conclude, given that marriage is about finding the right partner, it helps a great deal if the life partner is known to you before marriage.
Yeah, this is also good.
Anything missing in the conclusion?
Just that those two words, strong emotional and social bond, because that is what we have written in the body paragraph, no? So if you mentioned the same thing, if that is how you have gone about it, then probably this conclusion is better. Otherwise, it depends on what you wrote in the body. There's nothing missing. See, that's what, as I told you, your mindset. The examiner is not looking for any fancy stuff. There is fixed criteria: task completion, cohesion, coherence, grammar, vocabulary. So if from that perspective, your conclusion is talking about what you said and it is grammatically correct, the examiner is bound to give marks to you. He cannot, because there is nothing like logic. Have you ever seen anything like logical comments, logical arguments? Is there any criteria like that? I'm not saying go illogical, but the whole point I'm trying to make is the logic does not really play any role in the whole evaluation criteria. So why should we think so deeply about it? Hmm? What is the full form of IELTS? International English Language Testing System. Does it say International Knowledge Testing System? It's not testing your knowledge. It's testing your English. So how you structure your thoughts is more important than the depth of analysis. So if your sentence is grammatically correct, how can I
So, in the conclusion, I mean, if we repeat the sentence that which we are using in the chain, uh, I think that can also be done. Because I usually do that
so
whenever
don't
I'm
repeat
writing.
it,
Or maybe
paraphrase
substitute
it,
Yeah, kind of.
use some other words, but yeah, you have to. There's no other way. You have to. I also did the same, right? But if I've written something in the introduction, I'll not use the same words. I'll smartly change them. There is a stronger emotional and social bond between bride and groom. I advocate that a love marriage is a better choice. I would like something like that. You know. So, are we clear about writing the essay now?
Sir, in writing part, I think two types of things will be presented now. One is this essay, whatever topic they give, and another thing is letter writing.
Yeah, there is a letter as well. That is correct.
Yeah, it differs for both academic and general, I think.
Yes, yes.
Differences is there.
In
For
academic, you
general,
are going to get a graph, and here you are going to get an essay. In academic, there is a graph, and in general, there is a letter.
yeah, letter. That's what formal, informal, like that. Whatever they give, we have to present.
Exactly.
Okay. We can't expect what questions they are giving in the exam, sir. For that, we are unable to
Don't worry,
prepare.
don't worry. Don't think too much. Don't think too much.
Mm,
See, there are a few things which are not in your hand, in my hand. Let's do what is in our control. Okay. What is in your control? So in your control, you can go through all the audios, videos, have the right mindset, and practice well. Go through these essays the way I'm saying. Simply rewrite them. Don't try to reinvent the wheel.
Okay.
Right? You have got the brush, you have got the paper. Just paint it. Don't try to make your own brush. I'll first make my brush. Then I'll open a paper manufacturing factory. So I'll make my own paper and I'll write on it. No. Something is already prepared, something is there in front of you. Simply rewrite it so that you go through that experience. In order to learn a car, you don't have to manufacture a car, right?
Yes.
Right. So you don't have to open a Maruti or a Hyundai का factory. क्यों मेरे को कार चलाना सीखना है? So don't write an essay or a letter on your own. Simply rewrite the essays and letters available to you. They are there. They are already evaluated at very high bands. Simply rewrite them. Is
So
it a
can you
good
share
idea?
the things? Yeah, that's good. You please share the things, sir.
They are already shared. 11 essays, letters. They are there. I'll again share it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the roadmap for writing. For speaking, again, I'll be sharing some documents like this. I've got it recorded where I act as a candidate and there's
So,
somebody asking questions to me.
hey, Rajiv, so in writing we get only letter and essays. There is no surprise we could get in the exam, right?
No. You cannot get any surprise. कुछ पंजाबी गाना चल रहा है, कोई कार वार में हुआ पंकज?
No,
Okay,
I'm at home.
all right. So yeah, I think that's what about essay. So yeah, you can follow this roadmap and you can very well get very good marks in writing as well.
Okay.
Yes. And for letters also, I'm going to share the same concept. See, there are 3 types of letters. What are the 3 types? Formal, informal, semi-formal. Same thing you have to do there. If I give you some standard essays, just rewrite them. And even if you read them, you understand. Don't try to jump the gun. Don't try to show a performance which is out of the world. Just fulfill the criteria. Since it is a fixed match, let's fix it. The match is already fixed. You know, they have a fixed criteria. Yesterday, I read a very good quote. It says, if anyone can do it, anyone can do it, isn't it? If anyone can do it, anyone can do it. Is that right? So this is the fun of a standardized test. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. If one thing is fixed, if one thing is done, if you know it, this is the way. Everybody can do it. It's a fixed path. Yeah. So you just follow this. All right. For letters also, it is very simple. You just have to stick to the point. There are 3 bullet points given there. Just write 2-3 lines on each of the bullet points and finish it. Don't try to showcase your English that I am the nephew or niece of Shashi Tharoor, right? Just fulfill the basic criteria. That's it. Do you get any clues now? Are you able to have a roadmap for you now? Do you see success now? Do you see that you can clear it? How many of you think you can clear it? Good. Yes. So just follow this path. Do not confuse yourself with 10,000 things and all the people whatever they say on YouTube. Go by something which is common sense. That is the most uncommon thing in the world, right? Nobody talks about these things. They have their own ways. Write introduction like this, like body like this, write conclusion like this. Why don't you give 10 essays and ask people to simply rewrite those essays? Rewrite 10 letters, do the reading test 4-5 times, the same test. You understand everything there. So the whole test thing is howified. Now your voice audible. Okay, is this audible now? It breaks a lot again. Okay. Fine. This is fine now. All right. So any questions you have now?
Sir, tomorrow we can have a daytime if possible for me.
Yeah, you can send your work and I can do it the daytime. I'll discuss with you separately and we can do it.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else who wants to do it during the day? All right, so I'll have it done for you in the daytime. Yeah. All right. So if there are any questions, you can shoot them to me and I'll answer them. And all the best to you. And you're clear about your homework. What I want you to do is simply go through the Mythbuster today. And those who are having their test So the next 3-4 days, do one full test. Book 8, book 9, or whatever books you have, start doing the full tests. And tell me which tests you want to discuss so we can discuss that. All right?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye. Good night. Sir, so we don't have to do any test as a beginner?
Focus on one thing. In case you are going to take your test after a month's time, just have your fundamentals clear right now, because
Okay.
fixing the right mindset is more important than doing the test, because then you'll do the test in the right way.
Okay.
All right. See you then. Bye.
Bye, sir. Good night.
Okay. For those who are having their test after a month's time, you can have rest tomorrow. There is nothing to be done. You just go through this. We'll be doing our class day after tomorrow. For those who are rest after 4 days, if there's any, because tomorrow I'm going to have questions and answers. So in case you want to attend it, you can come and attend questions and answer sessions. But there's nothing new that I'm going to do today, tomorrow. I'm going to support these people who are having the exam. In case you have some time, go through the Mythbuster and take book 8, test 1, and be ready with that. So that is your agenda. But yeah, that's what the plan for it is for tomorrow.
Okay. And you share the details in that WhatsApp group that you created.
I'll do that.
All right.
Okay. See you then.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.